U.S. and Canada 2024, for edition.
Where the transformation begins.
By becoming a sponsor at Travel Tech, you'll gain access to an exclusive platform to showcase your brand to a global audience. Here's why you should sponsor our event. Travel Tech provided knowledge to more than 167 countries. Travel Tech is the largest online event in the travel and hospitality industry, reaching the milestone of over 1,500,000 unique impressions in its events. Delivering to the world knowledge, free education, inclusion, and effective networking for evolution in the industry. Being an excellent means of showcasing your brand. Over 80,000 people attended our live events, generating more than 19,000 hospitality and travel-focused leads.
In the bustling world of hotels, guests expect prompt, courteous service from booking to check-in, all the way to check-out. Meanwhile, the front desk is overwhelmed with emails, phone calls, check-ins, and guest requests. Introducing Guest Chat, a virtual assistant that helps your staff answer guest questions instantly via chat, 24/7, with a multilingual, fine-tuned white glove service. From booking to check-in, all the way past checkout. Join the revolution in hospitality service. Elevate your guest experience with Guest Chat today.
Welcome to the future of hotel marketing with HS Latam. Our self-managed, easy-to-edit websites are designed to captivate and convert visitors into customers. High-standard website with top 1 speed in the world with our digital marketing solutions. Elevate your online presence. Reach the right audience at the right time. Optimize your sales strategy to maximize revenue and efficiency. And with our advanced Power by Analytics, track your success and make data-driven. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide.
Introducing Travel Tech Academy, a platform offering free courses designed to share valuable knowledge from the best professionals in the travel and hospitality industry. Our mission is to provide inclusive learning opportunities for those who may not have the means to gain qualifications otherwise. With Travel Tech Academy, you'll have access to top-notch resources and insights that can help propel your career in the travel and hospitality sector. Over 3,500 professionals have already taken the course on our platform, acquiring knowledge and improving their professional profile. Many professionals, through Travel Tech Academy courses, have managed to find better job opportunities in the job market. For more information, visit traveltechacademy.com. And to become a sponsor of Travel Tech, get in touch through our website, traveltechspace.com, or by email at geraldo@traveltechspace.com. Travel Tech, what else?
And we're live. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name's Danica Smith, and I'm the Director of Product Engagement at Shiji. And welcome to Travel Tech USA and Canada's Day 1 Congress. Super excited to be dialing in with a fantastic panelist, which I will introduce you all shortly. Just some housekeeping for everybody listening in. Please make this as interactive as possible. Use the comments, and myself, along with the panelists, will try and answer the questions as we go ahead. So for today's topic, it's all about shaping the future of travelers and travel. Travel trends that will shape the market in the next 5 years. Well, I'm sure we can agree it's been one hell of a ride over the last 5 years. So I'm excited to kick things off. So, and somebody else is excited as well. So as I said, my name is Danica, and I'm the Director of Product Engagement and Strategy at Shiji. For those of you that don't know us at the Shiji Group, we are on a mission, and together with our clients, of which we work with over 90,000 around the world, we are really on a mission to reimagine the digital guest experience. We're privileged enough to be able to spearhead technology development right across hospitality technology, where we are leveraging cutting edge technology, making sure security is at the forefront, and looking at how to digitalize the guest journey and really revolutionize the industry across a number of products, from property management to POS to guest experience to check-in, check-out, distribution, everything. So if you'd like to find out more about Shiji, you can contact me. And now I'm going to welcome and introduce the fantastic panel of speakers tonight. So first of all, thank you everyone for your time this evening. So we'll kick things off. So Roberto, maybe if you would like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your company, please.
Of course, thank you very much, Danica. Yes, so my name is Roberto Rosales Santiago. I work here at CENI as the head of sales. So I run the sales team and all the relationship with our suppliers, right? Our industry suppliers. So that's my role here in the company, which I joined in November 2022. Actually, it was October, and then it's been a ride. So here, what we do here in CENI, company was created in 2016. We're a startup based out of in New York, and in 2021 we migrated our business model to serve the travel agencies. So we create a white level booking engine right? With 3 solutions. We contract with all the suppliers. We are the merchant of record, so we offer the white label, 100% customizable for the customers. Easily, we want to be like the Shopify for travel, so travel agents and travel agencies can create an online booking portal within 5 minutes. Then, because it comes with not only the portal but also the full content for flights, hotels, car rentals, and activities. And then the payment gateway is it's around development. So we work with all major, or not all, because we don't work with you, but we work with the majority of the travel companies, leaders in the industry, companies like Expedia, Priceline, Hotelbeds, CBO Holidays, Viator, all 3 GDSs and local carriers as well. So that's the content we offer. And the portal is ready to be used. So travel agents will be also available to accept online payments with credit cards, debit cards, and cryptocurrencies.
Ooh, great. Well, thank you very much, Roberto. A bold plan you guys have, and anybody that makes that much of a change in 2021 is, as we all know, is set for success. So really excited to hear what you have to add today, and thank you for joining us.
Thank
now,
you.
I'm going to jump on to Andrew. So, and hello, Caroline, for those that's Carolina, sorry, from New York. Hello. Just to let you know, guys, Andrew is dialing in from a train, so we might see him come and go. So whilst he's here, let me jump in and say, Andrew, welcome, and please introduce yourself and your company.
Oh, hi, everyone. It's a joy to be joining you today. Traveling Tech here. I am joining you from the dining car on the train in Portugal, arriving into Lisbon soon. I'm CEO of Insured Nomads. We operate globally with embedded travel insurance and health insurance for the globally distributed team. So I'm here because this is one segment that the hospitality industry has been a little bit slower to integrate into booking systems. We've integrated all kinds of other services, but yet travel insurance is one of those that still is needed in the environments. And we're here to integrate with you, either on your landing page after the booking or within an API so that it's easily integrated through an embedded path. We can offer this globally. And this is a space that is really changing because health has been in everyone's faces through the pandemic and beyond now. Many people are actually buying coverage to protect themselves when previously it was never a thought. Business and leisure travel is on the incline and blended. So the policies they had before covering only business travel aren't adequate. Providing not just the medical, but getting them in the airport lounge is part of our policy, including alerts when there's danger through push notification comes with it. Cybersecurity benefits included. And that member ID card doesn't have to just be an attachment to an email. It can be right there with your boarding pass, with your hotel loyalty program card. And so technology is crucial because everyone is used to everything being easy and efficient. Claims payout being easy. It needs to be better when it comes to our health, not searching for some PDF attached to an email. The service should be through text. It should be through Telegram, Messenger, easy formats that people are used to, rather than saying fax it in, as our industry in the insurance world has been reliant on for decades. So it's everyone here. It's a pleasure to be with you. The lineup of speakers is going to be fabulous. I'm Andrew Jernigan, CEO of Insured Nomads. So join me on LinkedIn. Reach out to us. Let's move this on to the next speaker. I'm eager to learn from everyone.
Thank you, Andrew, and already shaping the first need for what future travelers want. So you've already given us a great platform to start. Thank you very much. And now, Mitten, over to you. Welcome, and please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Danica. Pleasure to be here with everyone here on the on the forum, on the panel. Excited to contribute and also to learn from others. My name is Miten Mehta. I'm the CMO and Chief of AI Solution for Mondi. We are a NASDAQ listed largest B2B experience market in travel industry. We are in Canada, North America, Brazil, Mexico, and very soon going to be live in other parts of the world. Super excited to learn from other speakers here, but also to kind of reach out and give a quick shout out to anyone who's looking to partner with us, either for North America or for even other regions. Thank you. Back to you, Nenika.
Great. Thanks, Mitten. Thank you very much. And Anik, please introduce yourself and welcome to the panel. Nice to have you with us this afternoon. Oh, you're currently on mute, and it wouldn't be a technology webinar without saying you're on mute, even in 2024.
So thank you, Danica. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Anke Su.
Apologies, Anke.
No worries. It's complicated. And I'm the VP of Business Development for Chain for Travel. More than 20 years in the travel industry. Started out with Lufthansa, Alliance Management. Worked for Sabre a long time in online in the online segment, sales and key account management for EMEA. Joined FTI Group and built the French subsidiary for FTI Group, which is the third largest tour operator in Europe. And then was part of TUI with a smaller IT provider that was in the airline distribution. That's when I came to blockchain, like 17, 18. I saw blockchain as a technology that could improve how we work together in the travel industry. And I did some research during the pandemic at the University of Zurich, and then finally, consequently, joined Chain for Travel in the quest to build a new infrastructure, blockchain-based, peer-to-peer network-based for the global travel industry. So that was 2 years ago. The company was founded 2 years ago, and we are building Camino network. Camino is Spanish for way into the future. And why is it important? Why do we look at blockchain? Today, we are working together one-on-one, right? So whenever you want to connect to somebody, like insurances, for example, you need to have a technical connection. You need to worry about the technical connection rather than the customer experience. You have aggregators, of course, but it's quite very fragmented across the travel verticals. And then now we have new generations coming, right? Gen Z, that are, digital native, social media savvy, and who want to have unique travel experiences. So content is key. And now we have a new technology at hand with blockchain where you can work not in a hierarchical structure, one-on-one, but in a peer-to-peer network where you connect only once and then you have access to each other partner in the network, and a new infrastructure that enables wallets, digital wallets, enables automation, enables digital currencies, and that globally. So that comes very handy when you look at the future generations. And we started out last year with going live, and we already have 170 supporters, 90 validators that are confirming the transactions together. And they are managing that network. So it's not Chain for Travel managing that platform. It's the travel companies together. And I think that's the new thing, unifying really in the quest for a new infrastructure for the future, not for the next year, but for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And we know how long change takes in the industry. So we are, who knows, for the ones that know blockchain, the blockchain scene a bit, a number of validators, we are as big as Polygon, layer 2 blockchain already. And we have big companies like Lufthansa, TUI, Detouristic, and we have 2 of our supporters here as well, Xeni and Juniper. So we are very proud to be here and to talk about the future trends and what we need to do in the industry and how we can leverage the technology at hand for our travelers.
Great, amazing, thank you. And definitely the right person to be leading this conversation today. I'm excited. So last but definitely not least, I would like to introduce Daniel, our final panelist for this evening and this afternoon. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Please give us an introduction.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. It's my second edition of Travel Tech, so I'm very excited to be part of this one. I wasn't the last one for Travel Tech EMEA, and really great discussions. So, hello, everyone. The ones I don't know, it's a pleasure being here and sharing this knowledge with you. As Danica mentioned, I'm with Juniper Group. Juniper is a booking engine that's been around in the market for the past 22 years and continues to grow. We are part of the Constellation Group, and Juniper Group. Constellation is one of the biggest acquirers of software throughout the world and software companies throughout the world. And I would say our main focus really is to get all the connectivity and joining all the parts of this crazy travel market, connecting all the suppliers with the customers, with the travel agencies, DMCs, airlines specifically, which is my case. So in Juniper, I'm the head of airlines, so I'm in charge of the solutions regarding connectivity for the airlines and regarding also the solutions where they build their own vacations, for example, or they build their packages, or they offer other products to the customers. So creating this ancillary, this revenue upsell, and all of those strategies with them as well. So I think it's going to be a great discussion. I see we have people from different areas and new technologies, insurance. Mitten already knew from Mondi, so it's a pleasure having you here as well. And well, let's get started, Danica.
Let's get started. Thank you very much, Daniel, and to the rest of my panelists. Okay, so what is going to be shaping our industry for the next 5 years? I mean, we could probably talk about this for at least 5 hours, but conscious of time. So I'm going to jump straight in. Let's take it back a little bit and keep it quite simple to kick things off. So when we look at AI and big data and predictive analytics, which we know is such a huge focus point in our industry, name me one LinkedIn article or one conference that does not have AI as an agenda point. So let's kick things off there. Opening up to the panel, I would like to have your opinions of what do you think, whether it's AI or predictive analytics and big data, how do you think that's going to transform our industry in the next 5 years, whether that's with the airlines, whether that's with hospitality, looking at hotels, whether that's regarding personalization? How do you think AI, big data, and predictive analytics is really going to transform our industry and our lives as a consumer and as a guest? So who would like to kick things off with that very big question?
I'll take the first tips at it on that. Traveling at the moment myself, I saw the weaknesses of AI as I used to travel concierge, asking different questions about one of my destinations. And with that, I asked the checkout time at the hotel I was staying in. It told me checkout was 3 p.m. Checkout was actually noon. As I approached the desk recently, they said, do you need help with your baggage, etc. It's like, no, I'm fine. They said, well, were you aware that, you were to check out a few hours ago? No, because I was relying on AI. It still needs a lot of guidance. But on our side in insurance, it's providing outstanding risk data for us with the large language learning models that we applied as of 2 years ago to figure out, what the risk factors are of our insureds and where they're traveling, where they're located at the time, so we can send push notifications to them of dangers that they're approaching in the places they're in. So there's some great things that are happening, but yet there's a lot of guidance that we've got to provide to these models still.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I think there's nothing worse than both from a guest experience perspective, let alone poor housekeeping and operationally at that hotel. That is a big mistake to make. And I saw a quote recently, and it really is true. I think when it comes to AI, trust is the new currency. And we all need to be able to trust the technology that we implement and that we use. So thank you, Andrew. I hope that did you feed that back to the hotel? about the mistake regarding the checkout times that the AI had responded? Did you feed that back to the property?
I did not, because the front desk, no, the AI I used was through a different service. It was not through the hotel's service.
Okay.
It was a pre-arrival AI I had utilized. So this is interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you. Yeah. Disconnected integrations. We can all relate to that still. And Daniel, let me come to you, because you also had something to say regarding how kind of AI and big data and predictive analytics is going to is going to kind of transform our industry.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity here, and I completely agree with Andrew in terms of we need to check for AI and its roles and how it plays out in our trade. I have some very strong positions regarding AI, because I've been working with this, let's say, since pretty much the beginning, and following that up since the beginning. And AI for me, it's there's this huge hype. I do think it's a tool that it is here to stay. It is a tool, and I call it a tool because I don't consider it as an intelligence yet. We call it artificial intelligence. We call it, but it is the only thing that it does really nowadays. I know there's going to be a lot of people, hopefully, in the comments saying, "Hey, maybe you're wrong, and we can take this conversation to a different direction." But I don't think AI is ready yet to be an intelligence as it is, because intelligence, it's a multi-factor. It's it does not have emotions. It does not have a lot of the perceptions that we as humans do. So whenever I think that in this field, and travel specifically in hospitality, people say, AI is going to substitute people. It's going to change jobs. I really don't think that way. I think maybe in the future, in the long run, not in the 5 years, it is evolving quite fast. But AI, pretty much what it is today, is really a very good modeling, a very good mimicking modeling. So if you think about ChatGPT, for example, which is the biggest trend, what it does really well, it's get a language model, which is already defined. So every language that we speak, doesn't matter, it's already a defined model. And it uses that to mimic the human behavior and knowledge and everything. And of course, it's very powerful because it can join from different sources, and it learns from users, or acquires that information and uses in a better way. So I do see AI as definitely a trend. But my bet would be, and I hope let's see in 5 years from now if we have this panel again, if I'm right or wrong, but I do see AI coming more in the background, more as like helping systems in the background, more as something that is enabling companies to have a huge amount of information, being more assertive towards it as the model evolves, and fulfilling one thing that I do see as a trend for the not only for the past 5 years, but it continues to be, which is personalization, which is getting the customer exactly what he wants, understanding his behavior in a micro detail level. So I do see AI, for example, playing a big role, like for example in airlines, which is my field, in revenue management. I do see AIs playing a big role in getting the right fare, for example, for your trip, or helping you find the right timing, or the right flight, or the right hotel, giving you insightful information towards it. And definitely that brings a lot to the table, and that brings a lot of money to the table as well. But I don't see yet a system that's going to completely override and change the way we conduct business as we do today. It's going to evolve, yes, definitely, but it's still something to be watched and to grow.
Great, thank you so much, Daniel. I think that's the first time or in a while that somebody has been quite bold live on YouTube to say AI is not an intelligence tool yet. And I think perhaps Al, you can join us in our next panel. It's kind of disagreeing a little bit, saying that actually by focusing on what it can't do is taken away from its current benefits. So Al, I urge you in the comments to list out what you perceive the benefits of AI and how it would shape our travel, lifestyles, and industry in the next 5 years. Okay, well, thank you very much, Daniel. I think some really fascinating points. I want to come back to the personalization part in a minute, but before we do, does anybody else want to say anything regarding AI before we move on to personalization in our industry?
I would like to add from our perspective. Yeah, I want to point out that the issue of trust and the verified data that we talked with Andrew about. I think blockchain can help there because you need to collect somewhere data and it needs to be verified data. That will be a very, very important in the future. And that's why Microsoft is working with Aptos Blockchain to use that technology to create that trust within that area for AI. And so for us, blockchain and I go hand in hand. Actually, when we come to the management of AI models like ChatGPT, I mean, it started with open organizations, and now it's like Microsoft. And blockchain actually provides tools how to manage in a community, in an organization, with external partners, a development of such an important technology. So that could be help. Blockchain could help there as well.
Great, thank you.
I would also like to add,
yes, please,
remember that generative AI, it's only a year and a half old, so it's a little baby that it's learning, and we are rapidly seeing migrate from machine learning to generative AI. So that is accelerating, and then it will continue to help us escalate the industry. So as the new generations comes into travel, we have more and more travelers, and AI definitely and big data will definitely help us to manage and personalize those new travelers' needs and requirements while traveling, be it for airlines, insurance, of course, hotels. All it is touching already and beginning. We're only seeing the tip of the iceberg, right? Beginning to touch all of our industry areas. And just like the dawn of internet, where we were afraid if internet were going to cut jobs or lose jobs, it only generated more and more jobs. I think it will help us generate even more jobs as well. So I see it as a very positive impact into the industry, to the travel industries, all industries, right? And I agree with Daniel, it's a tool, right? But it's a very, very powerful tool, also helping to reduce costs like the blockchain does. So
absolutely,
I see a bright future. And technology is bringing, bright future for travel.
And it helps us with the scarcity of people that employees that we have in our industry. So we can think really intelligently about how we can use those technology to automate things that people don't need to do, so that we actually can focus on hospitality. Rather than
and what matters, absolutely, than those repetitive tasks, and also recruitment. It's going to help. The moment in our industry, let's face it, if you were a 20-year-old, we are quite behind other industries. So it's great that we're even talking about, blockchain and AI and the fantastic things. Like, this is exciting for those 20-year-olds that may be listening. So this is great.
Danica, if you don't mind, I think I agree with everything being said, but I want to bring an end user point of view on the AI, right? And not the tech. I think from an end user standpoint, if you all wear our head, as a traveler, I think there are three things that we look forward to AI, which I think to a lesser or greater degree AI has started delivering, right? Number one, what we are basically looking at is going out and saying choice, right? Am I getting more choice when AI is at play? And depending on, who the player is, and there are several over here, Mondi is one of them, but obviously there are others, and they'll all agree to it that I think we have more choice today, right? Number two, ease, right? Ease, making it really, really painless, end to end, making it door to door. I think the first time we have known that the entire travel supply chain is broken. I mean, there are a number of players. If I were to ask you, any one of you, and say, do you know exactly what your total cost of your last travel trip is? You probably don't. And that's just one of the examples, right? And how many providers did you use? How many suppliers did you use, right? And was there a single point of contact? All of that. So I think number two is ease. Is AI helping in solving that problem? Most likely all of us will violently nod our head and say yes. And I think the number third one is convenience. I think it is important to recognize, and we all said we'll revisit this personalization later, but I think making it more personalized, making it more customized, whether at a trip level, whether at a experience level, and making it more hyper local, the kind of experiences that, probably us seeking, but I think more importantly, the Gen Z, that they are going out and seeing and saying, can I, while I'm on this call, can I go out and book a meditation camp in Tibet? With a Tibetan monk, yes. And can I do that end to end? Yes. something that was probably not possible before because because of the way the personalization, hyper localization, and customization now comes to work, especially with AI. So I would leave that with those three words. I think
Love
important,
that, Mitten. Yeah.
choice, ease, convenience. As an end user, those
Yeah.
are the three things we look for.
And can you just repeat, Mitten, what you just said? Personalization, hyper localization,
And customization.
and customization. Okay, I think this is really interesting point here because I'm going to talk as a consumer perspective. And when I think about my travel, it is so difficult to kind of capture and understand that. What I want to do on my own is definitely have meditation. I want yoga, but I really want hiking and I want to be able to enjoy wine during my dinner. Totally different when I'm traveling with my 5-year-old and my 4-year-old, different to when I'm celebrating my wedding anniversary. It's hyper personalized. So let me open this up to the panel. When we talk about personalization, what is that going to look like over the next 5 years? And how can technology really be used to deliver me those 5 awesome experiences, please?
Definitely data analysis. So big data. I remember a couple of decades ago when I was working in Sabre as well. Okay. I also work in Sabre. So we used to analyze the big data. Imagine a GDS like Sabre, the amount of massive data that it collects, and then back then there was a new department created just to analyze the data, and we used to watch graphs that seems to be like Pollock pictures, right? Very, very difficult to understand. And I guess I understand that AI will help us to translate all that data into actionable recommendations, specifications, and as Mitten is saying, like hyper localization, hyper personalization. Yeah, that AI will give us the power essentially to transform big data into actionable items, right? Like real into actual service for our customers, no matter the level, right? B2B, B2C customers.
Yeah, thank you, Roberto. And I think you might have touched on Amar's question in the comments from Brazil. So hello, Amar. Thank you for dialing in. Amar was saying that in what specific ways does AI impact the customer experience within hotels? And I think, Roberto, like you just said, being able to capture those data preferences on a macro level and being able to correlate them into something that is actionable, i.e. Danica, you're with your girlfriends, here's your espresso martini. Danica, you're with your toddlers, here's your strong coffee.
Danica?
Yes.
If you don't mind, I would like to
yes,
add
please.
to
Yes, Daniel, jump
this
in.
because
Thank you.
I think it's quite interesting and it's very focused on hotels as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, in Juniper, we do have a company that's part of the group, which is called Vervotech, which does a lot of hotel content for with AI, and of course, there is the human factor in the end of the process and everything. But what I want to talk about is, we are talking about within the hotel, but I want to talk about the whole experience actually, because I think AI, for example, and just using them as an example, or any other company that does it. One thing that is very cool, so talking about personalization. So information about hotels, if you go into 5 different websites, you're going to have 5 different information about it, depending on the connector, who's your provider, how you manage to input this information, what is your public, and all of that. So AI, for example, I think, thinking about the whole process, the whole journey of buying a product, in this case, a hotel, will be, I think, in the forefront of providing you better, accurate information, providing you more hyper-personalized information. So why? Because I can, for example, understand that Danica is coming through my website and she has an interest for meditation, and I'll push those hotels up to the front and I'll change a little bit the descriptions, not being fake, but being real descriptions that capture more the type of information you're looking for. Maybe I know you have a pet and I can showcase that, no, this is a pet friendly hotel or something like that. And I think throughout the process, like you mentioned, once you get to the hotel, getting to understand your favorite food, get you understanding, are you there for vacation, for business? Are you on a honeymoon? What kind of, personalization I can give you throughout this process? I think, and this is like the biggest thing I would say from this tool that I call it. Because in the beginning, I know I have a strong position. People may have think like it's not a positive issue. It is a positive issue. The way I see it as a tool. Every time more and more specialized, more and more defining each one of us. The only thing we need to be aware of and we need to take care of it's this hyper personalization, how far it goes. Because sometimes maybe I don't want to have a cappuccino in my lunch. I want to try something new. I want to be exposed to different things. So this is one thing that I would say it's to question as we move with this technology. Just being very simple here. And one thing I would like to add, for example, we're talking about AI, and we have somebody here from Chain for Travel with Sanke, which is, blockchains. And for example, we haven't talked much about it, but I do see, for example, this technology being very disruptive, let's put it this way, in our market because of all the ticketing, all the getting all the hotels with the cars, with the planes, and your whole travel on the blockchain. That is a fantastic concept. I'm just shifting a little bit. I know I'm messing with your panel a little bit, but I just want to try because it'll be something quite interesting also.
No, absolutely, Daniel. I mean, I've been dying to go back to Annika and jump into blockchain and understand kind of how, or not necessarily what today, but in next year and in 5 years' time, what that's going to look like for all of us. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. So thank you all panelists regarding AI. We have time.
Just for the sake of making sure the arguments, and Daniel and I are good friends. Daniel, I would like to ask you, when you go out and shop for music, video, or any shopping on Amazon or Netflix, others, it's a user-centric experience. Can you truly, with your hand on your heart, say a travel shopping is a user-centric experience today? If not, then there is an opportunity for AI to play a role, make the whole travel shopping experience, right? So if you think of it, the way we consume video, music, books, anything has changed in the last 20 years. But has travel changed that much? Really not, right? I mean, we consume the same way, right? What we were doing today. Also, we are going and talking to 20 different suppliers, 20 different providers. And, I don't want to go into detail, but everything from exploring inspiration all the way to, going out and having a guidance all the way to payment. Everything is disparate. Everything is broken. And there is a role, technology. I'm not saying it's AI alone, but I'm just saying there's a role that AI will play. And I think, mark my word, that's the next big frontier, right? I mean, basically the way we all consume travel or way we all shop for travel is all about to change in the next 3 to 5 years, whether it is AI, whether it is blockchain. So that's my limited point.
Mitten, I love that comment. Thank you very much. And it's true, as an industry, like whilst it's very cool what we're talking about, if we look at retail, look at Amazon, the way that they upsell to me, I mean, I buy things I didn't even know that I wanted. They take personalization to the next step of, okay, this is what you need. And I think as well, when we look at ancillary revenues in hospitality, we can definitely learn there. And it's the same as Netflix. I find myself watching documentaries that have nothing in line with my hobbies or my interests normally. So great point, Mitten. Does anybody else want to add to that, guys?
I actually want to add a different angle, because when it comes to personalization and data, we will have a new trend in the future: customer wallets, self-sovereign identities, digital identities. And we see that already in the blockchain space, where you have your wallets and you connect with your wallets to the website, and then the data is shared. And we have several initiatives across the world. The EU is on the forefront. They want to have, by 2030, 80% of the citizens to have a EU eID wallet that contains not only your ID or your passport or your diploma, it contains also your travel activities, right? So you have one data container that belongs to you, and then you log on to a website, and then you define as a customer what you're going to share. And that is a huge opportunity for AI, because then in that moment, AI can read that and see what other activities you have done in the past and can personalize the experience for you. I mean, just a simple example, if I'm a frequent flyer with one airline, can I take my status to the other airline? No, you start from scratch. So now with that blockchain-based wallet, self-sovereign identity, you could. So they would instantly know you are a potential client that could bring a lot of business, which is important, right? So And I think that's for consumers, it's a bright future.
I think I love this idea of having a customer wallet. I didn't even know this was kind of on the horizon. So let me ask you, in terms of customer engagement and customer adoption, how do we educate the consumer that this is there, this is trusted, this is safe? If I think of my 65-year-old mother, she would be very, very nervous. So how do we kind of get from the technology to actually achieving that 80% that you mentioned?
I think it's the government in the end, the local governments of countries that will push it. And as we have seen, they can successfully push it because we had our apps with the proof that we are vaccinated during the corona pandemic. And 56-year-old mothers or grandparents, they all did it. They all had their mobile phones and they all had their vaccination proof. So it's possible. And I think we will see if there are some benefits, I think we will see a faster adoption, and it's pushed by the governments as well. It's like CBDCs, like central bank digital currencies. EU wants to introduce the digital euro by 2026. So it's coming. So, and we will be onboarded, I'm sure.
Adoption is coming. Yeah, it's naturally coming. So adoption, as these tools and markets have become more accessible for the end consumer, right, for the audiences, this is absolutely coming to us. So we don't have to educate the consumer. It's to simplify the tools to make them accessible. Yeah, and of course. Intuitive to use. So essentially that's it. And again, now the crypto markets are getting a lot of media exposure because of the recent valuations of the different projects, and of course the Bitcoin leading them all. So that adoption will be coming, but it's true, government regulation is needed, and all that will also help us to educate and promote the use. But in our perspective, because our platform is also built on the HBAR blockchain, the industry or our customers, they don't need to, or they don't want to learn or understand the blockchain or the Web3. They just want technology that works, right, and simplifies their business and helps it grow their business, or consumers want to simplify their travel experience. And essentially it's building products that are compelling and intuitive, easy to use, and they deliver a great user experience, and that's what builds trust, right? And then
exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, still just talking on the hotel side, at Shiji Review Pro, I was doing my research with my customer success team, and we work with over 60,000 hotels. And apologies if I'm incorrect, if there's anyone out there, but from my understanding, we're yet to have a hotel that's accepting cryptocurrencies. And if I look at retail, there's lots of estate agents, that take that as a payment method. So there's still definitely a gap to go, just if we look at on the payment side at cryptocurrencies on hotels.
I think it's important to distinguish between the use case cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and the technology like blockchain.
Okay.
So of course they play together because each blockchain comes with a cryptocurrency, a native cryptocurrency. However, you could have other, stable currencies as well. The blockchain technology provides much more than a currency. It's automation. It's a global network. It's smart contracts. It's the ability to connect with each other, to directly sell and buy from each other. So there's a lot more than the use case payment settlement that we also have, and which is brilliant because suddenly you have an even cheaper payment method than virtual credit cards, right? Provided by a blockchain network. So I think that we need to distinguish. But coming back to the hotel, we just had the news from Sleep.io, sleap.io, which is a new OTA that is built on Camino Network. Has a different concept, in providing a customer, a really personalized customer experience for the traveler. And they are working together with hotel as a supplier, and they just provide or had the idea to provide hotels with the ability, with the terminal, to pay in cryptocurrency. So it could be that easy, right? So somebody comes and then provides a terminal, and then you can accept cryptocurrencies. So I think that's brilliant. Now we have another bull run of cryptocurrencies, so everybody will be more open to that, and it stays. We know that. So we're coming out of crypto winter, and it will be important in the future. I mean, Bitcoin now, I don't think it will be going away anymore.
It's not going away anywhere. That's true. In Seni, we are already making happening that. So we accept crypto payments, and we convert those to USD to pay the suppliers, the hotels. So hotels don't need to accept cryptos today.
Yeah, that's
we'll
the other
accept
thing.
them. We'll accept them for them. We'll pay in the beloved USD for sure.
Well, let's see. I mean, I think that's an interesting concept of a new kind of OTA. But then it's hope hotels don't make the same mistake that we made 20 years ago of, do I need to have a good booking experience on my website? And then look where they are with commission. So it will be interesting to see how with specifically hotels, how much of that do they want to give away and at what cost? And so okay, so thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to move on to the next question, although Andrew's dropped off, so we'll see if he's coming back. So we've spoken a bit about blockchain, and we'll continue with that, but also I want to bring in, I think, Roberto, you mentioned Web3 technology as well. So has anybody got kind of some tangible examples of the innovations that we think are going to be witnessed to in the travel industry over the next 5 years when it comes to Web3 and blockchain? I mean, Anika, you mentioned some. Have anybody got any others that they would like to share?
Yes, of course, reducing the cost payments. So like from cross-border payments, for example, the traceability of the transactions that the hashtags of the blockchain brings. It will allow us to innovate in the industry, like booking policies, for example, hotel name changes, not only for hotels, for airlines. It will simplify the whole experience. So while the technology will get more and more complex behind the scenes, it will facilitate and simplify the travel booking experience for travelers. So that is coming to us. We are at the early beginning. I mean, we all are here, not only in Seni, of course, Chain for Travel. There are other companies like TravelX, a few other Web3 travel startups that we are working together with the industry. And it's very hard, as Anke said, to migrate to next technology or for the industry to adopt a new technology like the blockchain. But with the help, for example, smart contracts, NFTs, all that will come to the industry, helping us, again, reducing the cost, the transactional cost. That is key. And then on the user experience, simplifying, the technology will help us to improve all the many restrictions that we have today when we purchase travel will go away.
Like what, Roberto? Can you give me an example?
It will be because it will optimize. Everything will become more productive by simplifying. For example, hotel name change. I keep on saying hotels, so it's name changes in general. I mean, you can convert any travel service into an NFT, a non-fungible token, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the blockchain technology will allow you to transfer from one, peer-to-peer transferring, so you can transfer from one user to the other. And this is happening today. So it's already, there are companies that are doing this already. So airlines that are accepting this kind of rates or new rules. That will
So,
simplify things.
yeah, especially low-cost carrier, for example, and we have the Flybondi example with TravelX, right? So
Exactly.
when you travel with a low-cost carrier, you usually have like a non-refundable ticket, and then you can travel, and you need to buy a new ticket. How great would it be if you just go as a customer, go on a platform and sell your ticket, and the airline would get a cut, a commission, because that's registered in a smart contract, and then three parties are happy, right? You sold your ticket, the other one got a maybe a slightly cheaper ticket, and then on the other side, the airline got his cut, their cut as well. So it will take some while because, of course, airlines are very concerned.
I was
As
going to
Daniel
say,
will agree
yes.
about the yield management.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, so we are building this infrastructure. So TravelX or Zeni, they could, they have applications that build on top of that infrastructure, and Camino Network is focused really on the travel industry because the travel companies can control the transaction fees, and there's nobody that can just raise transaction fees, which we have seen in the past with platforms that have like gatekeeping capabilities. Yeah.
I mean, as a consumer, this is something that I need because I'm known for booking the wrong airport, booking the wrong way, booking the wrong names, so I'm all in for this. And interesting that you say, obviously, the delay in terms of the yield management from the airlines, because we all know, well, actually, I don't know how much they make, but I can tell you Ryanair definitely make a lot out of their, their
all of that. They could buy it. They could even buy it back, and if there's a higher demand, sell it at a higher price. So it would be different. Could have different impact on yield management, but it needs to be explored, of course.
If you don't mind, I'd like to add a little bit. I think, because this technology really fascinates me. I haven't, Anke's not paying me for anything, even Roberto, but it is one, working with airlines and everything. It's one technology that fascinates me. I would say even more than AI at the moment because it's more tangible. It's something that is, right at the corner. I think there is still a general misconception about the public understanding what is blockchain, what is, there's this mix that is blockchains are bitcoins, and bitcoins is, this whole market. But in fact, everything that you guys mentioned, you're experts, the smart contracts, all the tokenizing, everything that is possible. I do see, and I do hope, like in the future, for example, giving you like a very, maybe 5 years, 10 years from now, example, your passport could be in a blockchain. Your visas for a country could be in a blockchain.
Exactly.
All the currencies you buy could be in a blockchain. Your tickets, everything else. If you think about airlines, for example, I don't even want to deep dive into revenue management or anything like that because of the whole discussion around money. But so I think Anka mentioned about the loyalty programs. So yes, you could her example, you could connect your wallet and another company could see your wallet. But why not use the blockchain, for example, to have liquidity pools between two different companies? So maybe I have, a certain amount of points from this company A, and I want to use on company B, and I can just go into the liquidity pools and make the exchange as a currency and use. Of course, Roberto is shaking his head and going like, "Oh, maybe that is crazy."
No.
Yes.
I'm saying yes. No, that's amazing idea. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this might be great because there is a lot to think about now how people are going to use those points because in the end it is the company pays for it. It is a cost for them to have the loyalty points and the loyalty program. But this is what I think becomes like what is the focus. The personalization is enabling that. So I completely agree with Anke. Like if the government, for example, issues your passport as a blockchain, you have that. You're not going to lose it anymore when you travel, which is amazing.
Exactly.
First thing. Second, makes it easy to use, and people start adopting it. I think it's something that will become more and more common. But I do think that there is still, like in the next years, some first getting this image of what is actually behind this technology. People that work with it are very familiar. They know the potential. People, they're kind of listening what's going on. They listen in the news more about the other side, which is the currency and everything. And they usually say, I don't want to mess with this. But the potential is huge, especially if you think about, we're talking about costs. If you think about fraud, for example,
exactly,
you could have a ticket. You can have even your loyalty program points. They cannot be faked anymore because they're registered in a blockchain. That every transaction that happens throughout the whole process. Or even if you think about the whole experience, like the vacation experience, I can, I think somebody mentioned as well the virtual credit cards. That means no more fraud as well, because, or at least a very low amount of fraud compared to if somebody gets your virtual credit card or get your credit card number, something like that. But even if you think about a small vendor, let's say in an island somewhere, they're selling, an activity for someone. You could hire them through the blockchain. You have a number in the end, or a ticket, whatever you want to call it. They can go in online and say, "Hey, this is a valid ticket. I'm not going to be paid for it." It makes the whole process easier, and it's very transparent. So I do see this as something that could potentially benefit, the whole industry. But the adoption is, especially if you think about airlines, it's going to be it's going to be some years before we can get to that point. Definitely.
Some will be faster, the innovators, and some will be slower, as we saw with the other initiatives. But what we see, I mean, we have like 200 use cases across verticals identified and talked with travel companies, and we have about 40 in the pipeline. So what we see is like we have those ChatGPT moments, right? So we don't show, you can't show blockchain, right? So you show the applications, and then you see like the people are, wow, that's it. Okay, that you can do with it. Okay, so this is what we focus on, so to illustrate what you can do with this, and in different areas like payment settlement, like loyalty, like automation, like distribution, especially.
And I think the loyalty piece is music to my ears, because I'm sure, how many useless reward schemes are we all members of that we've never used, we don't like, and it costs an absolute fortune from the vendor's perspective. Okay, so I mean, this is so fascinating. And this is my first travel tech where I've taken so many notes. So thank you very much, guys. I need a one-on-one, real deep dive into the different areas. And I think, Vinny, if you're still there next time, I think it's fascinating to take this topic and dive into the yield management side, and that could be maybe a future travel tech. So I'm conscious of time. So what I would like to do is to go around to each and one of you and kind of summarize or add, if you think anything has been missed, of, again, what do you think is really going to shape our industry over the next 5 years, and kind of give us your summary thoughts, please. So Roberto, we'll kick things off with you, please.
So, excuse me, say that again. I missed you. I was reading Vanina's comment.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah, that's very good. Let's read out. No, thank you.
Thank you,
Vanina, your comment, absolutely. I've been working in tourism events for years, and my expertise in technology is something that people really don't know how to implement. It's very new. Yes. And also, there's one thing having the technology, there's the other thing having the strategy, and then there's the third part, which is actually training and getting the culture right within that company to adopt that technology. I have a story at Shiji. We have a digital check-in solution, and I went to stay at one of our hotels, and the receptionist was like, "Don't worry about using that. I'll just check you in here." So there is definitely many compartments to making technology successful. So Roberto, I would like to come to you, and if you could summarize your thoughts and kind of give us a closing sort of 5-minute statement on what you believe is really going to shape our industry the most over the next 5 years, please.
Well, I can't be more excited for the industry future. I think, the world has turned a little bit dangerous, right, lately. So that is a concern, but hopefully things will get better in the coming years. But altogether, I think it's AI, big data. Now with AI will allow us to process big data. Blockchain will give us the traceability and the confidence, on the information, and also on the funds management, so and automation. So I think it's going to be all together. I don't think one technology, it's all the technologies together that will drive us into this new future. And I know, for example, airlines are very conservative, but they are listening, they are open to learn, same for hoteliers. So it's just a matter of time. And once a new technology like ChatGPT breaks the ice, and we all understand it, we adopt it, and then everybody forgets about the time before. It's like a WhatsApp. I can't remember my life before WhatsApp now. So I think it's going to be a bright future for both travel and technology.
Thank you, Roberto. And I think with, inspirational leaders like the four of you that have joined me today, are definitely paving the way. So absolutely, I'm very excited, and thank you. Okay, who would like to go next?
Go next if you don't mind. Oh,
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay. No, I just want to compliment also on Roberto's. I do think it is the way. I don't see one single technology paving the future. I see a whole bunch of them, in combination paving what we see. And I do think, like, if we think about, I don't want to be very academic here or anything, but if you think about the revolutions, if you think about all the revolutions we had, I would say if you look at them, you're always going to see there is one point where everybody's using the same, let's say, language systems. They're pretty much the market is going through a single. I don't know how to say it. It's having the same thinking. Let's put it this way. The market is moving. All the players kind of on the same pace and everything. And then you start to put all these new technologies in, and then what you see is a gray area because everybody's trying to figure out what is the next one. So I would say, the next 5, 6, 10 years, and it's going to be actually a constant flow because those gray areas, they never change really. They at one point they become more stable, but I would say what our industry is going to do is going to try a little bit differently. What Roberto mentioned about airlines being more flexible, yes, definitely. I think everybody's paying attention to those changes and trying to figure out what is the next move. So you see a lot of experimentation. I see technologies that will definitely die. I see technologies that will evolve and become something else, and then maybe it will be combined. And then at a certain point, we're going to see what I would like to say it is tourism 5.0. When some people, it is not a term that I coined it. It exists, but it's when the industry figure out, hey, this is the way, this is what the consumer is looking for. Those are the technologies in place. And then we're going to be leaving that for a little bit, and then something else will come on and move forward. So I'm very excited because I've been in tourism for 16 years now. I work in other industries in software and in telecom, and before I joined tourism, and it's one of the industries that I do see has the most potential to be explored because of one simple thing. Everything we do, it doesn't matter if you work with systems or not, it is based on the human. It's based on human interaction. It's based on an experience, on the travel, on the So it is one of the industries that has really the potential to implement all of that, in the future. And I do like to see that it's growing. It's being explored and has enough space for new companies also to be exploring that scenario and finding, and paving that way. So that's it from me.
Thank you. And Daniel, I just want to touch base quickly. You mentioned that you think some technologies will die. Do you want to reference some in our industry that you think will not be around in 2 years, 3 years' time?
Oh, that's going to be another topic, very polemic. But I would say, some of the systems that we have in place, some of the, I would say more of the standards that we have in place, they will be definitely changed. Yeah, they'll definitely be changed, and they'll be overcome by the new technologies. I'll put it this way. So I don't get you controversial, but again, it's not that they die. They somehow get incorporated into others and they evolve. I really know, just a quick parenthesis. I have a picture in the back here, which is the movie Metropolis. I know you cannot see it that well, but it's one of the first movies from 1934 or 37. I'm not quite sure. That shows actually an artificial intelligence, right? So it is the concept. It is one of the first movies that has the concept for a video conference. What are we doing now? So from 37 to now, it's a long time, and I think that is technology in the end. That is how it's gonna evolve, and that's how it changes, incorporates into each other. Somebody brings a new idea. We start to touch it, figure out, hey, this is good, and then we move forward. So
absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much, Daniel. And Miten, let's come to you. What are your kind of summary thoughts, please, regarding the conversations that we've had this evening?
Sure. So, slightly different point of view. I think technology is a great enabler with the AI blockchain. But I think what I'm mostly excited about over the next 5 years is how they will play a role in terms of what we see the Gen Zers are consuming, the way they are consuming travel, especially post-COVID, how all of us have looked at our bucket list and thought that, do we want to do the trip first or do we want to buy that third car, first, right? So the priorities have shifted to experiences. So the way they are consuming travel is through experiences. The way they are measuring their lives and their success is also through experiences on one hand. On other hand, if you look at the creators economy, whether it is Web3, whether it is blockchain and others, how they are creating those experiences, right? So one is consumption of those experiences, another is creation of those experiences by in the creator economy. And I think how technology is going to play a very critical role in terms of bringing both of them together, right, in a single value chain, if you will. And I think whether it is AI, whether it is blockchain, all of them would have a role to play. But I believe that even if you look at the creator economy, largely they are Gen Zers or gig economy, however, or and Web3 has played a critical role there, blockchain, and how they are both kind of coming together, right? And for the first time, we are kind of going out and seeing that truly it is going to enable an end-to-end seamless experience between the consumers and the creators.
Yeah, thank you, Mitten. Absolutely. And also, not just the generation Z, but also the generation alphas. My 5-year-old, she's going to be traveling in, so what's her preference going to look like and her expectations. So I think it's, and how do you match that with an aging population as well, staying and having the same travel experience particularly. So
yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they're not just consumers, but they're shapers and they're also influencers, right? For the generations behind them and also generation ahead of them. I think that's the critical role that they're playing because they're redefining how just like the way our generation redefined how e-commerce and, as I keep saying, maybe movies or music and audiobooks. And we can't see
social. Absolutely. Yeah. I was talking to a very, very prestigious hotel chain, and they have average daily rates of 7,000, 8,000 euros per night. And they have seen a rise of influencers, and their demographic has completely changed at their properties. And unfortunately, there's a lot of younger kids that are just putting on credit cards to go and have this luxurious experience and live the influencer TikTok dream. And that's a whole nother dynamic in our industry. And how do we deal with that? And,
So I will close with just one statement. I come from a humble middle class family, and I saw an interesting dialogue happening between a Gen Zer and a father, where the father said, "Why don't you save?" When the Gen Zer says, "You wanted to go out and die rich. I want to live rich, and I want to die poor." So I think that's the shift, right? That we are going out and seeing now.
Thank you, Mitten. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah. And again, finally, last but not least, over to you, Anika. Anika, if I've said it right, an hour in.
Yeah, that's what okay, yeah. However, I want to echo actually Mitten's thoughts, because I wanted to also go back to the customer. So, who is our customer? Mm-hmm. And when we look at the demographics of Generation Z and Alpha, and how they actually live in a kind of hybrid world, right? So much more than us, and you come to that as well, probably, but they are much more immersed in that digital world, and they have very different expectations. So that will shape the travel space, that will shape the travel industry. And also, I think the AI, blockchain, other technologies will be enabler to meet those expectations. So, for example, that influencers can actually connect to the right supplier, connect to that experience directly, right? And they will be enabler, especially for connectivity as well, right? So that we don't need to worry about technology when we think about a new experience for Gen Z or Gen Alpha, millennials, or other generations. And they will also enable the human touch, as we spoke before. I think that's more important because, yes, Gen Z is immersed in the digital world. However, they will seek the human touch. And that's what we need to provide in hospitality, because we are in hospitality, all of us, right? So that's the highest priority, to have that human relationship, to provide a human touch experience.
Absolutely. Thank you. And just quickly on that, when we talk about, your background coming from sort of like looking at blockchain technology, can you give me an example of where it would complement but still allow for the human touch in that consumer or guest experience, please?
Actually, it's the check-in procedure. We talked about hotels, right?
Yeah.
So I did jump in at the point of time. However, if we succeed in having digital identities, we don't need to have people queue up at the registration desk. I mean, we have digital check-in as well, but in Europe, we have hotels where you still queue, right? And then you would free up the people to actually provide that host, to act as a host. That's because that's the most successful, because and then you have like AI, and okay, Danica wants to have a cappuccino in the cafe, so here is the cafe, and so something like that. So really, play the host instead of a stressed check-in employee, right?
Yeah.
So something like that. That's what I imagine. Or actually at the airport, where you just walk in, with your wallet, and you just go through the biometric passport control. The no touch baggage control, right? So where you just put everything on, and it's fast, and then you get dropped all the offers for the shops, and then you actually have that experience in the shops at the airport, and perhaps a lounge. Of course, you have lounges, but then preparing for your actual vacation, not being stressed at the airport because you don't know the queues, etc., etc. So there are many things that we could do, like having vouchers for fast tracks, right? So that you can actually, when you see, there's a queue, you can actually use that at the moment. The airport can steer that. So there are many things that we could do to provide a more human touch and more time with each other, and I think that's important for the future.
Thanks, Anka. So, I'm so interested and exciting. I think, Mitten, that's what you said earlier as well as, both as a customer, so excited for these conversations, and as a technology vendor in this space. It's super exciting. So thank you so much to my fantastic panelists, including Andrew, who I'm guessing train arrived at the station. So he arrived safe and sound, hopefully. And thank you so much to everybody that's listened in and for your comments. Whilst we round up, please feel free to write one last question. I think we might still have time. So I'm just going to check that there's no more comments. I don't think there is. So thank you so much, everybody. I think this has been a fascinating travel tech. I think we have definitely scratched the surface on what is going to shape, transform, break, change, mold, evolve travel as we know it in, by the sounds of it, the next 2 years, not even 5 years. And so thank you so much for your time, experts and panelists, and looking forward to the next one. So thanks again to the whole Travel Tech team for hosting tonight's free Congress. And I hope the rest of the week is as successful as this afternoon's session. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you, Danica. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome Travel Tech EU event in Canada 2024 for edition,
where the transformation begins.
By becoming a sponsor at Travel Tech, you'll gain access to an exclusive platform to showcase your brand to a global audience. Here's why you should sponsor our event. Travel Tech provided knowledge to more than 167 countries. Travel Tech is the largest online event in the travel and hospitality industry, reaching the milestone of over 1,500,000 unique impressions in its events. Delivering to the world knowledge, free education, inclusion, and effective networking for evolution in the industry. Being an excellent means of showcasing your brand. Over 80,000 people attended our live events, generating more than 19,000 hospitality and travel-focused leads.
In the bustling world of hotels, guests expect prompt, courteous service from booking to check-in, all the way to check-out. Meanwhile, the front desk is overwhelmed with emails, phone calls, check-ins, and guest requests. Introducing Guest Chat, a virtual assistant that helps your staff answer guest questions instantly via chat, 24/7, with a multilingual, fine-tuned white glove service. From booking to check-in, all the way past checkout. Join the revolution in hospitality service. Elevate your guest experience with Guest Chat today.
Welcome to the future of hotel marketing with HS Latam. Our self-managed, easy-to-edit websites are designed to captivate and convert visitors into customers. High-standard website with top 1 speed in the world with our digital marketing solutions. Elevate your online presence. Reach the right audience at the right time. Optimize your sales strategy or maximize revenue and efficiency. And with our advanced Power by Analytics, track your success and make data-driven. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. HS Latam. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide. Transforming hotel marketing. Worldwide.
Introducing Travel Tech Academy, a platform offering free courses designed to share valuable knowledge from the best professionals in the travel and hospitality industry. Our mission is to provide inclusive learning opportunities for those who may not have the means to gain qualifications otherwise. With Travel Tech Academy, you'll have access to top-notch resources and insights that can help propel your career in the travel and hospitality sector. Over 3,500 professionals have already taken the course on our platform, acquiring knowledge and improving their professional profile. Many professionals, through Travel Tech Academy courses, have managed to find better job opportunities in the job market. For more information, visit traveltechacademy.com. And to become a sponsor of Travel Tech, get in touch through our website, traveltechspace.com, or by email at geraldo@traveltechspace.com. Travel Tech, what else?